You're actually going to enjoy being home alone with your little kids for 12 plus hours. And no, it doesn't involve pretty Pinterest schedules or full packed activities. This is about you. This is not for your kids. This is a rhythm and a routine and a reset for moms. This is a safe place for tired and intentional moms who are feeling the heavy load of motherhood, who are in the thick of it, who have toddlers, who have preschoolers, and you're recognizing the opportunity that you have to build a connection, to build a strong relationship with your kids, but you're also being honest and realizing like, this is a lot and I need help. I'm struggling. I'm drowning. I'm surviving and nobody's coming to help me. And I need help. What do? We don't talk enough about how overstimulating it is to be in this stage of motherhood, to have these little children that are so cute, but they also have runny noses, and how exciting it is to do fun activities with them that you're looking up on Pinterest, but then they're also throwing them on the ground. That's overstimulating for you. For me, being home with my boys by myself, it was something that I dreaded for a while. It was something that I was honestly scared to do because of how it made me feel. My blood pressure is getting high. My anxiety is getting high. I'm feeling kind of trapped at home, right? And I needed a way to fix this, to fix my mindset, because my situation was not changing. If you are like me and you're the primary parent, you are the one who spends the majority of the time with your kids. And that's such a blessing and an opportunity, right? And everyone's telling you to be so grateful, but also at the same time, it's really hard because you were not taught how to thrive in motherhood. You were only taught how to survive. You were taught and shown how to do the bare minimum to get by and to do what you need to do. But you're realizing that I'm trying to escape. I'm trying to leave. And if you can't get out of the house, which we try to do, we try to get out of the house at least once a day, but a lot of times it can't happen. Or if you do get out of the house, it's for just 30 minutes or an hour before you have to rush back home for naps or for lunchtime, or somebody pooped their pants and you didn't have a change of clothes in the car, or whatever the case is. That's not living. That's not living, trying to survive and trying to figure it all out. So what has really helped me is this idea that I'm calling counterstimulating. If you're overstimulating, you're feeling like your anxiety is rising, everything around you is bothering you, it's not causing you calm, it's not bringing you peace. This idea of counterstimulating is really going to invite you and give you an opportunity to ground yourself and anchor yourself in your day, not to run away from the chaos and try to escape the chaos, but to create joy within the chaos. Counterstimulating is the opportunity for you to intentionally nurture your senses and not just wait for your kid to punch you in the face by accident or headbutt you while they're running to give you a hug. Those types of things are very stimulating and they're, irritating, obviously, and painful in a lot of ways, but we need to take back our control. We need to focus on what we can control, which is our senses. We need to engage and nurture yourself through your senses. So the first way you're going to do that is to ask yourself, what are you hearing all day? The music that you're playing sets the vibe in the environment. There are certain stores that you like to go in, that you like to shop in, and you walk in and you're like, okay, I'm feeling chill. I'm feeling the vibe. I'm going to browse. I'm going to look around. And there's other stores you go in while you're shopping and you're like, oh, it's too loud in here. Thinking about like Abercrombie and Fitch when we were growing up, and Hollister, and like those loud stores that they intentionally were trying to keep parents out. You gotta have to ask yourself the same thing of like, what's the vibe of my home? Are you waking up in the morning and playing Cocomelon and Peppa Pig and it's driving you insane before you can even get your coffee? I know for me, one thing that has been so helpful is before my boys even come downstairs, before I get them, I'm turning on worship music. I'm turning on Bethel. I'm turning on Maverick City music. I'm playing my home birth playlist to help ground myself and keep my eyes fixed on Jesus, to obviously get me more in a prayerful, calm mode as I start the day, knowing that this is going to be a long day where I'm the anchor of this day, and knowing that your kids do not need you to entertain them. It's not always about playing songs and things that they like that stimulate them, but it's more about, hey, mommy is in control. Mommy is the leader and the influence of this day. I have to be grounded first, because if you're peaceful and you're calm and you're centered and you're grounded, sure, your kids may not all of a sudden become grounded the second you put on your favorite worship song, but they're going to notice your vibe, and they're coming off of 12 hours of sleep. You're not. You're probably coming off 4 hours of sleep, and you need the peace and the grounding, honestly, more than they do. So over time, you as the culture setter, they're going to notice, even if it takes weeks and months for them to kind of catch on, depending on what the current culture of your home is, they're going to notice that. Your kids are going to feel your energy, and music obviously helps to regulate that. And one of my favorite things to play is our crappy hour playlist, because in our house, crappy hours from 4 to 7 p.m. After naps are over, people are feeling all types of ways. There's music on there that I like. And even after my worship music is playing in the morning, and sometimes my 4-year-old will say, Mommy, I don't like this music. I want to play Lecrae. I want to play 1K Few. And I'm like, we'll play your music later. And that's okay, because I need it for me. It's not always about, him playing what he wants to play. And in the afternoon, when we're playing the crappy hour playlist, there is music on there that I know that he likes, and we'll jam out and dance to that together while I'm getting dinner ready, while I'm doing the dishes. But those are playlists that are intentional. But first, the most important thing, the priority is that I like them. Okay, next thing you're going to do to counter-stimulate throughout your long solo mom day is to get some tiny treats that anchor you. You're so quick to give your kids snacks whenever they want. They're probably eating all throughout the day, just like my kids, and it's so kind of normal to give our kids that. But when's the last time you give yourself a snack? When's the last time you had an actual meal? Having coffee is great, and you want to make sure you're doing that as well. If you like that, if that's something that you enjoy, but you need to actually have food and snacks yourself. And having rituals and having things to look forward to every single day, and sprinkled throughout the day. Every single morning after I get my boys breakfast, I'm making my coffee. I'm making my frothy coffee with my espresso. I love the froth. I love the texture. I love the smell. It helps to stimulate myself. And it's not even about, the caffeine. It's more about the habit and the comfort of the warm coffee that I'll even drink in the summertime. I'm having a protein bar in the afternoon. I'm having, some Oreo Thins. After I put them down as a way to high five myself, I'm stashing, dark chocolate Hershey Kisses in the junk drawer to reward myself if I handle a tantrum well or respond to some rude comments well. You have to be able to really give yourself kudos the same way that you would in a work environment. It's really hard for anybody to keep going and do well and continue to be the type of person they want to be and be the mom that you want to be without rewards and without acknowledgement. If we're being honest, a lot of times that's what you're doing. You're kind of like, oh, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. But you should reward yourself for that. You should give yourself some type of high five. And it'd be nice. And a lot of times when your husband is there, it's nice if he can do that for you. But these are solo days. These are days your husband's not there with you, and you're not, at play group, your friend's not there. Your mom's not there to support you. So you have to be able to support and encourage and affirm yourself. You don't want to treat your kids better than you treat yourself. You're not spoiling yourself, you're supporting yourself. And we have to always connect it back to grace. When you respond calmly, you deserve to be noticed and acknowledged for that. And a little treat is a way to do that so that you can keep going throughout the 12-hour shift. Because again, this is, if you're thinking about it in the terms of being a nurse or anybody else who's in a profession where they have long days, those days are long, and you have some lulls in the day sometimes, but you have to be able to get through them. You have to be able to have things to look forward to through a 12-hour day, because you don't know what's going to come up. You want to make sure that you are regulated and that you are as calm as possible. Now that we have given ourselves little tiny anchors of snacks and of sweets and of stimulation through our taste through our tongue, we are now creating micro moments of beauty. And no, I'm not talking about, your beauty routine or makeup, but if that works for you, that can work too. But we're talking about looking for beautiful things within our environment and even creating beauty in our environment. The environment, your home, it doesn't have to feel spotless. And it's a lot of pressure because I know a lot of people, one of the reasons why you are running out of the house and why you don't like being home with your little kids is because your house is a mess because you have little kids and you take the time to clean up and do mid-afternoon pickups or whatever the case is, and like your kids don't care. It takes you 30 minutes to clean up one small corner of your house and it takes them 0.5 seconds to destroy it, and it kind of feels like, what's the point? This is just very like a big waste of time and it's very stressful. But your house doesn't have to be spotless. You just need small anchors of beauty. And what helped a lot for me was to stop looking down, stop looking at the messy floor that has Cheerios and crushed up blueberries, and stop looking at the wall with crayon markings on it. But you want to start raising your eyes up, start looking out the window, start looking at the family photos that you guys took months ago around Christmas time where everybody was matching and you hid the stains and there was just a half a second of everybody smiling at the same time. Start looking at those. Creating moments of beauty for yourself, and especially if you are doing solo mom days once a week, going out and intentionally buying flowers and like your favorite vase of flowers, so that you can look at those throughout the day and like kind of, because your body and your eyes are always scanning for beauty and for safety and for joy, and let it find something good. Be intentional about that. Don't just wait and say, oh, when the counters are clean. That's probably never going to happen, at least not during the 12-hour shift. And you cannot wait until your kids are asleep in order to regulate your nervous system. It's just not going to work out. It's going to make the day even more stressful. And I know for me, a lot of times if I don't regulate myself, I'm exacerbating the situations and making the day harder, because I'm not responding the best way that I can because my nervous system is not regulated. So let your brain find something good. I know for me, having flowers, having those family photos, updated family photos printed, it kind of reminds my brain of like, okay, we're not Hot Mess Express all the time. Like, we are capable of looking like a beautiful and cohesive unit. So it is possible, and it doesn't remove you from the chaos, but it's creating joy in the chaos and reminding yourself like, okay, when I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at God's creation, I'm setting my eyes on things that are beautiful, that are honorable, that the word of God tells me to do. I'm hearing the birds chirp. It's a reminder that the chaos is not consuming you. Sure, it's a part of your day and it is a real thing, but it's not swallowing me whole. Like, I have a bit of control. I have a bit of peace within the chaos and joy in the chaos. This next one sounds a little bit silly, but it is so real and so helpful. And it's with our scent, with our ability to smell. And smell can really interrupt and overwhelm, like the sense of being overwhelmed faster than logic, than our brains and our thinking. And that's really important because a lot of times us as moms, we are trying to constantly fix things. We're trying to find solutions to the problem. We're trying to entertain our kids and give them what they need or what it seems that they want. And having a routine of like, turning on a candle or lighting a candle in the morning, taking a minute to smell your coffee before you sip it with your favorite creamer, putting on body spray as you're getting ready in the morning, or having one kind of close by in the drugstore just to spray when you need a quick little like spritz or like afternoon pickup, baking cookies in the afternoon. Sometimes we do that on my Saturday solo days with the boys as like a special anchor activity, which is really fun. But it's just like that reminder of like, okay, if I can stop and smell the roses, smell the cookies, smell the coffee, I'm okay. Like, I am okay. This chaos is not consuming me. And it's a better alternative a lot of times than screaming at the top of my lungs or, losing it and kirking on my kids. Like, just stopping and smelling. Obviously, it's a reminder and an invitation to take a deep breath. It's just something that can ground you. There's so much power in scent, and it's not something I feel like we give a lot of, acknowledgement and space for. And I think like it can go both ways. When you smell a poopy diaper, that joint takes over, your whole kind of existence and racks your presence. But we need to counter the bad smells, the trash that needs to go out, the poopy diaper, the old food, whatever it is, with a candle, with a diffuser, with a frothy coffee, to counter stimulate that scent noise, if you will, with what's going on. Now, being touched out is, I feel like it's one of those phrases that is so common and like widespread in motherhood today. And if you're like me, where you have little kids, and even if you're extended breastfeeding, I've been breastfeeding for over 4 years, and it takes your touched out sense to a whole nother level, obviously. And learning how to counter stimulate that has been so big and important. And when you're touched out, everything feels sharp. It's like, oh, like, don't touch me, like, please, like, oh, like, I just need a second. And like, obviously that can impact your marriage as well when your husband does get home. But there is a big difference between passive comfort and intentional comfort. So passive comfort is more of like looking for whatever's clean, which a lot of times is nothing when you're in a house with a bunch of little kids, a chaotic house. And then that intentional comfort of putting on fuzzy socks, wearing your favorite college crew neck, getting under a cozy blanket while you guys are watching a show together, or whatever the case is. That's gonna like be a reminder, grabbing a stress ball or something like that. That softness can help remind your body that you're safe and that you're okay even when you're tired. So you can be tired and be safe at the same time. You don't want to keep looking forward to when your kids go to sleep and just kind of waiting for that 12 hours or 2 hours ahead, because that can feel so long. Even if you only have an hour until bedtime, like, it can feel like a long hour if you're constantly just checking your watch and like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. You don't want to wait for that. You want to focus on what you can control right now. What can I do right now to enjoy this moment? I cannot control my kids. They are their own humans. I can give them opportunities. I can give them invitations to things that a lot of times they will reject. But what can I invite myself into? I can invite myself to touch this cozy blanket, or change my socks, or to run my hands under some warm water or cold water, or put some lotion on my hands just to kind of engage that touch, or even like grabbing a glass of cold coffee and touching that, or whatever the case is. There are things you can do to regulate yourself. Now, if you've gone through the 5 cents reset and it's already 10 a.m., you're like, all right, I've done this 5 different times and I need something else. Like, I've drank all the coffee, I ate all the snacks. Like, what do I do now? One thing that has made a huge difference that engages really, 3 out of the 5 senses for me immediately is a sunlight reset and getting 5 minutes of sun on our skin. So I did this when I lived in an apartment, and we do it now where we live, where like it's not even a big thing. It's just like, hey, let's just run outside really quick for 5 minutes, even if it's raining, even if it is cold outside. But obviously in the summer months or the warmer months, it's so much easier to do that anyway. But going outside, doing some grounding in the grass, running to go get the mail really quick, even if I know we don't have any mail, just like, oh, let's go check in the mailbox, walking there and coming back. It's just a good like switch of environment for us when we're at home and we're not able to leave. It sounds so simple, but until you do it, the whole mood shifts. And like for a while, I fought it because I kind of felt like, oh, this isn't really gonna do anything, and I'm not a big like outdoor person. Like, I would never want to spend all day outside, but 5 minutes makes a huge difference. And obviously getting vitamin D, getting the sun on our skin does slow us down, and feeling the warmth of the sun, this shifts the energy. And even if we only stay outside for 2 minutes, coming back, like, it is a good switch up. But of course, a lot of times we end up staying outside longer for 20-30 minutes, and it's a nice little like break for me. And like, they'll run around, and it's a chance again to get some like separation, if like, especially if the physical, I've been holding our 30 pound toddler all day and all morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my arm is getting sore. That's a way from him to run around, feel like they have big open space. And I can kind of step away, listen to a podcast, listen to my Bible, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It's something, like 5 minutes counts. So that has been a huge game changer of just getting 5 minutes of sun on our skin. 12-hour days are no joke. They feel long, they feel lonely, and they're very loud. But you're not just surviving, you're cultivating something. These little rhythms, they matter. They make a big difference. You are the culture setter in your home and in your home. These little rhythms, they make a big difference, but you're cycling through them. You're having your rituals in the morning. You're going through this 5 sense reset probably 3 or 4 times throughout the day. You're having a morning, afternoon, and an evening version of all of these, and it's gonna make a difference. And maybe not in your kids right away, but it is gonna make a difference in you as you're continuing to be intentional. You are the culture setter of your home, not because you're perfect, but because you are present. Let me know in the comments which sense you're going to start with for your next solo mom day. I would love to hear which one you want to start with first and why, which one you struggle with the most, which sense of yours gets overstimulated first, usually on solo mom days. If this helped you, send it to a mom who needs a reminder today that she is worthy of being regulated and being nurtured for herself first when she's home alone with her little kids all day. I'm right here with you always.